One of the most important interventions to prevent the spread of COVID-19 is contact tracing. It is done by identifying persons who may have close contact with a person with COVID-19, a confirmed case. Our goals are to interrupt ongoing transmission and reduce the spread of infection in our school. Our designated health and safety lead within GEMS Founder School will be the key player in contact tracing. Our contact tracing team are responsible for conducting contact tracing by profiling and assessing close contacts, and name lists will be prepared to be submitted to the health authorities. Ensuring pickup for suspected case within 30 minutes of isolating, and if that suspected case is positive for COVID-19, the close contacts will also have to be picked up within 30 minutes. Provide instructions for the close contacts and their parents to follow. Monitor the child and look out for symptoms and signs closely at home. If any of these symptoms appear, including a fever above 37.5, cough, sore throat, shortness of breath, sneezing, runny or congested nose, a headache, a loss of taste or smell, body aches or muscle pains, diarrhea, and nausea, even without a fever, call the DHA Dubai Health Authority hotline at 800-342 immediately and contact the school. Take steps to reduce the possible spread of infection in your home and teach your child to do the same, like washing your hands for more than 20 seconds, using soap or water or hand sanitizer, and sanitize surfaces regularly. Also, remind your child to avoid touching their eyes, their nose, their mouth with unwashed hands. Hands should always be washed before putting on and after taking off masks. The contact tracing team is also responsible to encourage parents of close contacts to follow the health authority guidelines and download the COVID-19 Dubai app or Al Husn app as recommended. So what are the major steps in contact tracing? Number 1, identify the suspected case, isolate them, and guarantee immediate pickup within 30 minutes to do the PCR test with their parents. Number 2, identify the close contacts of the suspected case, including the teachers and the classmates, and anybody who spent more than 15 minutes in the proximity of 2 meters from the day of the symptoms onset, and retrace the suspected case's steps for disinfection. The DHA will be promptly notified and deep cleaning will be initiated. Number 4, follow up with the suspected case to verify positive or negative results. Number 5, the results of the PCR test for the suspected case. 5A, if the PCR test is negative, but there is a strong suspicion of COVID-19 despite that negative result, then the patient will complete a 14-day quarantine and can only return to the school with a medical clearance. 5B, if the result is negative and there is no clinical assessment for a probable case or a suspicion, then the child can resume schooling so long they are symptom-free. 5C, if the PCR of the suspected case is negative, in either situations the contacts do not need to quarantine. 5D, if the PCR test for the suspected case is positive, then that case is now a confirmed COVID-19 case. That case will have to undergo a 14-day isolation. and subsequently, all the contacts will have to finish a 14-day quarantine even if they do not have any symptoms. Number 6, if any of the close contacts develop symptoms while in quarantine, then they will have to contact the DHA and do the PCR as well. Number 7, returning to the school is only allowed once the case and the contacts are symptom-free, they've completed 14-day isolation and quarantine, and they have a medical clearance from the DHA. Therefore, a parent's responsibility is highly critical in checking the temperature of their children before sending them to school and making sure they are not sick and symptom-free. A single child with even just mild symptoms will cause the disruption of the entire classroom for at least 2 weeks. We are all responsible to maintain the health and the safety of the entire school and decrease the risk of infection.